Hey everyone. Tomorrow morning I am running the Black Castle game, which is the third in a series of connected adventures. The first two were posted last week, the Caves of Krask and the Black Wall. But as you can see with my journal, I haven't written anything down yet. I have a lot of stuff in my mind. I've prepped the VTT as best I can. Got to do a few final tweaks. But I thought it'd be cool and fun to record me jotting down my notes for the game and then posting it with the game tomorrow when that goes out on YouTube. So I'm just going to dive in and just kind of talk through my process of getting this all set up and see what we end up with. Got my journal here. I try to keep everything to just 2 pages, so an open spread. That way, as I have it sitting next to my computer, I don't have to flip through too much. As you can see, I've got the previous 2 games here as well. So all I want is just these 2 pages, fill it up with what I need to run. And so to get away from the scary blank page, I'll just write the name of the adventure up here on the top, and then just do whatever I need to kind of bold that out and make it look like the title. And then sometimes I also put in kind of like the summary of it. So the goal for the whole mission is rescue Elf, who was captured in the Black Wall game, investigate the library, and then potentially face Mother Arden, who is kind of a big bad in the Alfmarch's universe. So that's just kind of the main goal for the adventure. And then what I end up doing is my general process is I have everything built up in the VTT, scene by scene. And what I'll end up doing is following down and just writing out each room here on the left with their timers, threats, and treats underneath, as well as any particular notes. So for example, they're going to start out in scene 1, which is going to be kind of the alleyway, and that's just kind of their starting point. Looking at the VTT, I believe I have it set to a target of 14. They won't be there for long, so that will just give them a quick turn or two to dive in into the alleyway. And so what I'll end up doing is for the timer, I'm just going to do a D2 before they are found. So they only have potentially 1 round to stick around here, do whatever, and then dive in. Their threat is being captured. And their treat is if they spend a round investigating, I'm just going to give them a piece of shabby loot. So if somebody spends the time just looking around in the alleyway, they can get some shabby loot. And then the next scene that I have is number 2. This is the kind of the sewer walkway, or so the we're just going to say sewer bridge. And we've got timer drops to 12. I mean, the target drops to 12. And this is where I'm going to put in my timer. For Elf procedure. So on the side here, because Elf is captured, he's actually separate from the group right now. I'll come over here real quick and just do 1A, and then we'll say the laboratory. And for elf, what we're going to do is we're going to have timer, and we're just going to say 4 rounds. And then his threat is being consumed by devil dust, which is a no good thing. And then the treat is he could potentially, release the devil dust on the doctor and the mooks, the brigands that are holding him hostage. So there's a lot of things that he can interact with in that room as he waits to find out if the players can get to him in time or if he can free himself. Okay, so that's going to be happening at the same time that the players are running about trying to rescue him. So coming back to the sewer bridge, in the scene, the threat is going to be 1 brute and 2 brigands that hopefully they can dispatch quickly, or else they are going to get slowed down. And then their treat, let's see, what would be a good treat for that scene? Something to interact with. Maybe they tried looking for some disguises, so I'll put down disguises and armor from the brigands that they could potentially hide up in, and I'm going to say 2. Okay. We do have Smiling Elk there, who is a hill folk, so I'm going to actually bump that up to 3. So 1 brute, 2 brigands, so they have enough to disguise 3 of them with those pieces. And then number 3 is we've already addressed the lab. So then I guess I could probably put down the brigands. We've already got stats for. The doctor I don't think is really going to fight, but I need to put a note down to potentially address him. Okay. Then for ease, I think I'm actually in my notes. I have in my VTT I actually have an extra scene. So I think for time wise, I'm just gonna delete that scene and clear out some space. So then that's just gonna get us to the hallway. We're gonna have a target of 12 here, and there isn't gonna be a timer, treat, or threat in this case. There's just going to be a choice. So if they go left, they'll find elf. If they go right, they will find Mother Arden. And if they go the center doors, they will find the library. Okay. And so I think what I'll also do is I'll say that this will still be counting down to this timer here. And we'll see how they're faring with rushing to get elf. Okay. The library, let's see, that's going to be another room here. That's going to be a target of 10 because it's a library. Things are quiet and a lot less is going on in here versus outside. But we still need a timer, threat, and treat. Okay. The timer is going to be a D4, and let's say Let's say just kind of like a servant, or yeah, servant raises alarm. Raises alarm. That will drive the target up to 12. So +2 to that. The threat in this room, let's see. The threat isn't always like of death, it's of failure. So if the treat in this room is definitely like Arden plans. What the Ardens are planning to do with the Devil Dust, their overarching plan, kind of where they're going. They can gain information there. And so their threat, I'm gonna say that the plans are protected. Whoever is carrying them, protected. Whoever is carrying them equals hard rolls. All hard rolls. So if you're carrying them and taking them away, then everything you do is going to be hard, just because they're kind of booby trapped. Okay, then next scene is if they get to it. This is the Mother Arden's throne. So Arden throne room. Okay, so timer. Oh yeah, target is 18 in this room. I know. Timer for this one, threat is definitely Mother Arden. And treat is, let's see, what would be a good treat for this room based off of what I have? I'm going to say the waterfalls are a treat. If they can interact with the waterfalls, then the room can start filling up with water. And that might be able to limit Mother Arden's movement. Okay. But the timer, well, the tricky bit with this one is that she actually has a plan. She's been expecting this at some point. So she's actually going to, we're going to say the timer is less of a timer, and these are dream challenges. Okay. So how this is, what my plan is for this one is, this is technically like 5A, and this is the graveyard. And earlier in the story, Snark blew up a fire keg in Mother Arden's face, and so she has a bit of a vengeful spirit about her. And so she is going to send Snark alone to a graveyard to face the past adventurers in Off Marches who have died along the way. So timer is 24 heroes dead. Okay, he will escape as soon as he kills all 24 dead heroes. Threat, it's 4 new heroes each per round. Okay, and The treat, I don't know, this is gonna be, it's a hard one to find a treat with this one. I think he's gonna be able to just kind of like go over the top, be a bomb, you know, because our heroes are, you know, 1 HP each. Like they just, you deal a hit and they're dead. And I actually have a list here of all of the adventurers that have died over the courses of all marches. And what I did is I looked at each one of their character sheets and picked out one element, one kind of defining a weapon or attack or action that they kind of focused in on. And so that's all they're going to do is they have one main action. So like Vager, he's hard to hit because he has this huge shield. He's got a Warhammer, which he gets, you know, +3, and on a hit, it's -1 to defense. So that's kind of a way to just simplify that, but then the experience is actually having to refight all of the past heroes that have come through. The other thing that I have is 5B, which is Blood Bridge. And that one is also a target of 15. And so the timer, threat, treat. Okay, so I'm going to do D4 is wave. And that's going to be like a dex or strength save. Threat is they're going to have 4 Ogdru, you know, tentacles to contend with, but the treat is get to the other side and they are free. So they just have to run and get free. And then once they get free, they'll be back to fighting Mother Arden in the throne room, and eventually both groups will be able to kind of reconvene back up together to face Mother Arden if they so choose. So then I'm going to come back here. I still have the doctors, but then we're just going to write down Mother Arden. Okay. And I will stat her in just a second. Okay. Over here, I don't have any other scenes beyond that. They've got kind of like an outside area to finish in, but I'm not going to really worry about that one. If they get there, they're kind of in the home stretch. So those are my 5 scenes for tomorrow. So the things, Doctor, what he'll do, I think what he'll do is he's got what is it? Tranquilizer, sedate. Like he has like chemicals to sedate. So he has sedate, and then what he can do is if he hits sedate, all checks hard for D4 rounds. Con save to half. All right, so that will be what his one action, and he's just gonna have like a heart. Okay. Before we get to Mother Arden, I'm just gonna highlight anything that's crucial. So I want to make sure that they understand that this timer and this timer are the same thing. Let's see, Mother Arden, left, right there. Arden plans is the treat, so they get to figure out what's going on with that. There. And yep, so then the other down here, you have to remember that it's 4 new heroes per round, and that it's 24 heroes total. And then for Blood Bridge, it is, you know, D4 for a wave, and then there's Ogdru Tentacles, which I would probably need to stat. So you just do Ogdru Tentacles, and let me grab Master Edition so I can just use the tentacle kind of baseline from the monster. Let's see, where are you? It's the Player's Guide, GM's Guide. It's right after the GM's Guide. Let's find those tentacles. Okay, so tentacles. We've got 2 hearts up down here. 2 hearts plus 4 to all rolls. They've got lash. They've got grapple, and then drag down and hurl. Okay. So I'm just gonna slip that over to the side. Just 2 hearts each. Okay, and then we got lash. We've got grapple. Drag down and hurl. So we can just write weapon near, shorthand. Grapple is strength, strength versus first contested strength roll, and then con / lose turn. And drag down is D4 rounds, and then dragged under. And then hurl is if it takes damage, damage equals far in a direction. So then I'll just roll a D12 for the direction. Okay, so you can see that I'm just trying to keep this as brief and as shorthand as possible. I'll have other resources up and available when I need it, but my notes are just whatever I need to kind of like spark the memory of it and wing it from there. So let's get to Mother Arden. She's the big bad. She's the one that's going to be the most complicated part of this whole thing. But the question is how am I going to run her in a way that makes sense? So I actually have her character sheet right here. When I first introduced her, I had her written out as a character sheet to give me an idea of what she was like at full power. Or at least kind of like if she was a player, what would that entail? So she's got major stats, but I'm not going to worry about each one of these. I'm essentially just going to give her +6. Each one, she's going to have 2 hearts. Okay. 2 hearts. And she's going to have +6 to all rolls. I mean all rolls. Okay. She has, for abilities, she has Wild Power Mastery, which if I look back at Master Edition, again, let's jump over here to the Mage section. So Wild Power, anytime you roll max die, roll it again. Wild Power, when any die is added to your memory ring, it becomes a 6. Okay, so she also does have a memory ring. Yep, she has a memory ring. So she gains, she can add a 6 each round automatically. So I'm just going to write, you know, a couple boxes here. So these are ways for her to boost her roll from her memory ring. And that's +6 each. So I'll just kind of like tally them up as she goes. And then her other spells are things like Arden's Hex, Vampiric Ray, Illusory Self. She has Ogdru Tentacles, which gives her 4 tentacles. It's a 4D weapon against 4 targets. So she can have tentacle arms. That's 4D weapon against 4 targets. She's got Ring of Resolve, so that allows her to ignore anything 5 or less. And then her other spells, beyond Arden's Hex, Vampiric Ray, and Illusory Self, she can cast any Elder spells, any Curse spells, or any Glyph spells. So I'm just going to write down her simple spells, which are Arden's Hex, Vampiric Ray, and Illusory Self. Okay, she has also know. I also know that she does know the kill spell. So like she can cast that one because she used it before, so she does have kill. Okay. So I think what I need to do over here on this side is to come up with a little bit of a monster AI for Mother Arden. She definitely, so let me write here, she definitely follows the threat protocol, which is, you know, if she's locked in melee, yes, yes, and no. So then if it's yes, it's melee. And she tries to get rid of them as quick as possible. And if it's no, then it's healer, magic, range, melee. So that's her kind of her focus there. Oh, how many actions do you think she can get? I definitely think she's going to get 3. And one of those actions is mid-round. So she's going to go 2 turns on her action and then 1. So 2 actions and 1 mid-round. Okay. What would be a good AI for her? Let's see. I don't think I had her AI back here. Let's see. Don't trust the scarecrow. Half an hour. Charred tower. This is the one where I did have her, but I didn't write her out as having a chart in that game, even though she was there. Okay, so just thinking through this. So I know she needs one action mid round. So let's focus on that first. So mid round action. Mid round, she will decide if, you know, so less than or equal to 1 heart. Okay. Say HP. Okay, if that's the case, if it's yes, then we will do Vampiric Ray and move, you know, edge of scene. Okay. If it's a no, then she will do either we'll do a D6. So she'll roll 6. If it's a 1 to 2, a 3 to 4, 5 to 6. Okay, if it's 5 to 6, it will be Illusory Self. If it's 3 to 4, it'll be Arden's Hex. Arden's, and 1 to 2 will be Kill. Okay. And then that will be back to here. So that will be her mid-round action. So then for her main action, she's got 2 of them. And this is where I think she's going to pull out the stops with her spells. But she also does have a Key of Ogdru, which is an item. Where is it? I think it's a magic item. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Magic item, key of Ogdru. It's cursed, or it's epic. It's a lot harder to find things when you're just really trying to go quickly through the list. Key of Ogdru. Okay, if used, a keyhole appears and widens, summons 1d8 giant tentacles. Okay. Alright, so what I'll say with this one is, again, if her HP is less than or equal to a heart, okay, then we'll say yes. She will do Key of Ogdru to summon 4 tentacles. Okay, and then she will do, let's say, a curse spell. And then, so that's going to be, let's find 1, 2, 3, 4, and then she'll retreat in, let's say D4 round. No, we'll not say D4 round. So we'll say, yeah, we'll just say retreat. Okay, so if she gets down below that, she'll release the tentacles, and then she's gonna leave. Okay, but if no, then she's going to do one spell. Will be an elder spell. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then she will move, and then she will do a glyph spell, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now the thing is, the different schools of magic were in the magic book, and I don't have the physical copy of that, so I'm just referencing magic in the master edition. And they've broken it down into arcane and infernal and holy spells. So we're definitely going to ignore holy spells at the moment. So let's look at curse spells in the infernal section. So let's see something that sounds cursey. Sorry, there's a lot going on here as I'm working on stuff, so I apologize if you can't quite see everything. Let me see if I can line up at least some of this. So I think one thing that she'll do is curse will be wither. Okay, and then she'll do that at power 4. Okay, power 4. Another curse spell that she can find is Moloch's Mutation. And then okay, there's another one. So we'll find, what's another fun curse spell? Okay, we'll do Incantation of Fear. And then for the last one, what she will do for a curse is yeah, she'll do vampire. Wouldn't it be fun to turn somebody into a vampire? It'd be a curse. All right, then elder spells. So these are kind of like eldritch horror type things, but we can kind of move back into some of the maybe arcane spells. See if we can find something that she would use here. Let's go with there, and then no matter what, while I'm thinking about it, after this one, she's still going to have her tentacle attack, tentacles, and then it's back to the top here. All right, so elder spell. She'll do Unravel. Okay. And that's just going to destroy a piece of loot. We can also we already got some tentacles. We don't need to roll grasp for Ogdru. So we'll do Swarm Self. And then we'll do Phase Hold for another one to prevent any doorways. And let's go with Time Warp. See what happens with that. Okay, and then glyph spells. So we've already seen, I've seen a couple glyphs. So glyphs of teleport. Let's see, glyph, mutagen, phase, oubliette, unlock. Let's see, depth, stream, growth. Petrification, grasp. Glyph to teleport, which, so we don't need that one. Reactor. I'll do that one. I like the idea of reactor. Go that one. And then let's find, let's do repel. Let's treat that as a glyph spell. Where am I? What am I thinking? We're definitely doing Garland Sphere, which is a terribly atrocious, brutal spell. And then we're going to do Glyph of Fire. Okay. So then, so for, again, just in review, so Mother Arden, her mid-round action is if she's less than 1, she'll do Vampiric Ray and then move to the edge of the scene. If she's still pretty good, she's going to have Kill, Unseen, Arn's Hex, and Illusory Self. Her main actions will be on her 2 things. So again, we'll do 2 actions. So that's probably this one here, and then this is just 1 times. Okay, so then her main actions, if she has less than a heart's worth of health, she's going to use Key of Ogdru to summon 4 tentacles, and then do a curse spell on one of the players, and then retreat, leave the scene completely. And if she's still good, she'll do an Elder spell, move, glyph spell, tentacles, attack, and be fine there. I think what I'm also going to do is probably have another move just added here. Okay. So then she moves, does a glyph spell, tentacle attack, then moves again to another position. Trying to stay away from where everybody's at. Whew. And then I'm just going to use this section for notes. And then I'll have like stars and wishes here. I'll do any notes. I usually end up doing like, they have regen, so I'll end up writing regen here, and then I'll just tack on boxes and track the regen that way as I go through. So we can probably just be like, that's their healing regen notes, and then the rest of the notes, and I'll fill in other things from that, from there, either my black or my red pen. Oh, one thing that I do need to remember is she has wild power. She does have wild power. She rolls max on any die. She rolls again. Okay. We will see if, when we play tomorrow, we'll see how well these notes compare with actual play. I'll try to take notes as I go along and share the end result after game notations, probably on the community page or on the website. So watch out for those, and I look forward to playing. But now I gotta finalize the VTT with some music and then get some sleep because I'm playing in the morning. 5:30 a.m. is a great time to play, but man, is it early.